I'd kind of alluded to the fact in a couple of my previous videos that I wanted to take one of my single barrel break action shotguns and somewhat miniaturize it to make more of a truck gun. So what I decided to use was my Harrington and Richardson model 088, and you've seen this in the super budget friendly 20 gauge shotgun video, the range video that I had with it, and more recently the pattern collecting video. And while some people may think it's sacrilegious to do this, it's not really an expensive gun to begin with. It does have some good history, and it's a very cool gun with good case hardened bluing. But what I decided to do was shorten the length of pull by about 1.5 inches, so you can see the after effect. And while the actual work was not done that great, I still have to sand the buttstock and do a little bit of finish touch-up. I'm pretty happy with it. And the barrel was shortened about 7.5 inches. So now this shotgun is a 19-inch long barrel, or just shy of 19 inches. It's about 18 3/4, and it has a length of pull of 12 inches. Now, while it doesn't really necessarily look that much shorter in this video, you can see the material that was taken off it to make it in its new form. Now, I will say this was an ultralight gun to begin with. It was about 5 pounds total with an empty chamber when I first got it, and now it weighs even a little bit less. I probably took off about 8 to 10 ounces, maybe a little bit more. So it's actually just over 4 pounds now, and it's a very handy little shotgun. So very short length of pull, very short stock, but I wanted to keep a stock on it so it's more of a youth model look and feel. And after trimming the stock down, I basically took the stock butt plate, drilled the holes in the end of the buttstock, put the butt plate back on, and then very slowly and carefully shaped it with a saw and a file. I think the finished product looks pretty good. And again, the main reason that I really wanted to do this was just to create kind of a handy truck gun. And I don't really carry a gun in my truck. If I have a gun with me, it's always on my person, but I like the concept of a truck gun. I like a short-barreled, lightweight shotgun that you can carry around with you. And again, I also wanted something that was kind of neat that I could also shoot my 20 gauge mini shells with. So I talked about that in one of my previous videos, the little short stubby shells. I've been experimenting with making 1 3/4 inch shells that are either roll crimped or just with an overshot card that's glued on there. And I thought this would be kind of a fun gun to shoot them out of. So miniaturized single shot break action 20 gauge shotgun along with some mini gauge shells. And again, you can see here on the left my shortened roll crimp 20 gauge shell. In the middle is one of the ones that had the glue on it, and then on the right in that picture was some of the original Federal 2 3/4 inch shells. So these are pretty neat. Again, it's just some fun stuff I like doing to keep myself occupied and just to try out things that may have never been done before. I don't necessarily do it for content, but if I'm going to take and do these type of projects, I might as well film them and put them out for you. So I figured this would be just a fun little video, again, talking about miniaturizing my Harrington and Richardson Model 88 shotgun. And of course, when you trim the barrel down, you don't have a front sight anymore, so you can either have it drilled and tapped, or you can do this and just throw a high-vis clip-on front sight on there, which actually may look a little bit weird, but in actuality, it works pretty well. I mean, the other option you have is just kind of guessing where your sights should be and aiming down that smooth barrel and shooting at whatever you're shooting at. And again, close ranges up to maybe 15-20 yards with this. You probably don't even need sights. Not that I'm saying you don't have to aim. I'm just saying you can get away with having less than ideal sights on that. Again, here are some of my shorty shells, my mid-length shells, and some standard 2 3/4 inch shells. And the nice thing about this shotgun is it does have a 3-inch chamber, so I can shoot some pretty powerful slugs and buckshot out of this thing, as well as some lightened mini shells, some standard shells, basically whatever you want out of this. It's a smoothbore barrel that now has a cylinder bore, and it's a pretty cool gun. So once again, thanks for joining me on one of my silly projects. Thanks for watching Cranky Gun Reviews. Make sure you get out there and shoot. Support your 2A rights. God bless America. And you remember, if someone tells you to give up some of your rights for the greater good, that freedom is the greater good.